PaperBag series. I am with your co-host, Mr. Kola Adetola.
Thank you. I'm here with your host, Mr. Brandon Lewis.
Ah, man. It's been a long time, Kola Adetola.
It's been a long time since I left you without feet and steps.
Alright, so thank you for everybody tuning in to Facebook Live posts. Brown Paper Bag, we're going to get started. We haven't done this in a while. This is a little teaser for you for our upcoming season. Season 2. So, greetings and welcome to the Brown Paper Bag series. I'm with your co-host, Mr. Kola Adetola.
Thank you. I'm here with your host, Mr. Brandon Lewis.
And as I said, we're here to kind of just present a teaser for season 2. Thank you for everybody that's rocked with us so far and tuned in and things of that nature. We have a very great upcoming season for us for season 2.
And this year, or this season, what we're trying to do is be more social media based and giving the people exactly what they want on every outlet stream that we can, which is why we're showing you today that we can do the whole Facebook Live thing. And like Brandon said, we're just thanking everybody for going on the journey with us in season 1 and participating, all the support you gave, all the tremendous interviews that we were able to conduct, the amazing people that I met, and then Brandon as well, just by being able to share our contacts, our network into one. It's been a great process.
Absolutely. So hopefully you can post some questions for us. We'll tune in. We'll try to get to them at the end of the segment. We have a couple of things though, and speaking of what Kola just spoke about regarding like this journey, it has been an interesting one. One that, when I first met Kola, he had said, I'm going to help you accomplish the things that you want to do. And, we've spoken about it in great detail regarding like the whole overall goal of just trying to bring you something different. And I don't want to say different because there is a lot of like social consciousness. There's a lot of, woke sort of conversations out there. But we want to bring to you people that are doing amazing things. We've had a great lineup for season 1, and we're very appreciative for those that took that step with us and that allowed us to interview them and talk to them. Everybody included. There's no names that need to be dropped, but we're just trying to kind of move it forward. And again, we just want to say thank you for this journey because it has been an interesting one. So what we're going to do is just talk a little bit about our show, talk about the Brown Paper Bag, and hopefully we'll get into it. And again, post some questions if you're familiar with the show. Post some questions for us, and we'll be able to try to address those. We'll even name drop. All right.
So first thing first, from season 1, you might have noticed the bag that we always had. Like, you see the bag, you see me and Brandon, you see a guest. And what a lot of people don't know is we actually don't know what's coming out that bag. Is literally a mystery. We get the bag, which we're about to do now actually.
Yeah.
Wanna grab the bag?
Yeah, grab the bag.
Grab the bag. We grab the bag. Generally, I present it to the guests after Brandon edifies the guests and welcomes them to the show. And we allow the guests
Him or her.
We allow the guests to pull out the word, do the honors, pulling out the word from the bag. And we all have a 1-minute piece on speaking on whatever word comes out this bag. The word can be a phrase, it can be something meaningful or represent something else, it can be a person, it can be anything. And just having it up to chance like that is what creates the whole mystery behind it. So what we're going to do first for you all.
How about I say that? What's funny about that is, regarding the 1-minute conversation, Kola gets mad at me all the time because as all those that know me and love me, you know that I talk a lot. And matter of fact, Gamma Zeta chapter, Alpha Phi Alpha, my boys, they just voted me as the #1 rambler that they know. So I do speak a lot, but it's about things that matter. Like Martin Luther King once said, our lives begin to end once we become silent about the things that matter. And the topics that we talk about, they're not as popular as are, they're very like sort of, they're debatable, for one, they're controversial, but sometimes that's not the thing that people want to tune into. Some people would rather, kind of like relax when they get off and not have to think about all the pressures and the things that are going on in this world, which we completely understand. But one thing that we do want to do, like I was trying to kind of get into before, is just offer you something that maybe it might expose you to something different, or help you align with the thoughts that you currently have, or help you think about something that's a little bit different. Help your kids think about something that's a little bit different. Me being an educator and seeing the youth, and talking to a lot of different educators, having this experience, a lot of times I do think about where we're headed. And Kola, being one of the young people, when he was attending college and we formed our friendship, I would ask him sort of like, what are some of the things that young people are thinking about? So we want to kind of bring to you something to kind of just give you another way of presenting something to you that you're considering or thinking about or whatnot, and so hopefully if you go back and tune into some of our older shows, whether we talk about CDEP, whether we talk about dentistry, whether we talk about even just like picking up a trade,
whether
whatever
we talk
maybe.
about love, whether we talk about your intellect, whether we talk about things that nobody wants to talk about.
Exactly. Even music careers, Yeah. I mean,
talents.
Talents. I mean, a lot of different talents and gifts and things. We want to present something to you in a positive fashion, to where you can walk away and say, you know what, thank you. So and not even thanking us, but we're thanking you also. It's a reciprocal relationship, to where we thank you for tuning in. All right. So let me stop my rambling. Kola, what were you gonna say about the bag?
But I can't lie. He does what he does, and the reason that he may not even know why he does it is just to influence others. So at the end of the day, the more you ramble, the more you put out more information, and I'm growing from you just growing as well. But one thing that I was going to add to that, for the people who we do interview or can interview, is also to create a platform for those individuals to offer their knowledge or their expertise and whatever that they have on a public stage, just like this. Like, you never know who can catch the video. You never know who can touch, who can hear it, who can come across it, who can benefit from it. So our goal is also to provide that platform for you all. Just send us an email, get in contact with me or Brandon in any way you know how to. And we would love to have you on the show.
Right, and if you want to email us, email me at blewis@brownpaperbagseries.com. You can email Kola Adetola at brownpaperseries.com as well. That's KOLAADETOLA.
My man got it.
At brownpaperbagseries.com. And again, thank you for all the additional help with just things that are behind the scenes, whether it be Phil setting up some of the stuff and coming to record, Charlie helping us out. Like I said, it's been a grassroots movement, and a lot of you have given us a lot of motivation, and that keeps us moving. So thank you so much. All right, no rambling. Love you all, y'all.
So let's do what we do and see what's in the bag. You want to do the honors?
I've never done the honors. I don't think I've ever done it. All right. So you want to tell me a little bit about? Oh, you are talking about the 1 minute thing and how I go over. Oh, I'm not supposed to let. Okay. All right.
This is that process. This is where it happens. Like, we see the word and we're like, oh man, we wasn't ready for this.
Yeah. Oh, and also get ready for the Hardy segment too. Desmond, I hope you're watching. We're waiting for you.
So, the word is Winnie Mandela.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It's Winnie Mandela.
Wow.
So,
and you talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we did. I did.
You talked about Winnie
yeah,
Mandela.
I said how I just watched the documentary.
Yeah.
And I let that be. I'm gonna speak on that piece. Who's going first?
Let me go. You go. Because you have something to speak on. So.
Ready.
And I do as well. When I think of the term Winnie Mandela, I think about the idea of struggle, but also the idea of undenying and unwilling persistence. If you think about if you think about her life and all that she's endured, and to continue to be a source of hope and optimism for others in the most severe circumstances, that's difficult. I think about my life and the things that I deal with are, even like the experiences of others that I know of and so forth. It's very significant to us, but when you try to like look at what someone else is enduring, and when you think about her and her messages of peace and her messages of staying committed to fighting against struggle and injustices, and her being that beacon for all of us, but particularly, women, um, particularly, young black women, and really just as a society as a whole, for us to like really kind of like look to say, you know what, this person has endured a lot, but yet she is unwilling to compromise, and she is unwilling to give up, and she is unwilling to yield to the forces that come against us. Um, that's much respect and the utmost admiration.
That was me. That was me. To piggyback off what you said though, my whole outlook on Winnie Mandela has always been the same concept which you broke down, a queen. Being able to play that role as a woman exemplifies the fact that she's strong at that. And not anybody can just be the wife of Nelson Mandela.
Right.
Keep in mind what he stands for and everything that he's done. And
Anything he went through, right?
everything he went through. Not many individuals, not even referring to women, but not that many individuals can last through that.
Right.
And I felt like that spoke volumes of her character. And it showed that, I believe it showed that both genders can do basically the same thing. As in being a backbone and a concrete foundation for any of the strong individual that is out there.
The kind of direction for one thing. Only thing I say is that I think women can do it better.
And
I think women can do it
I feel
better.
like only
it
women can actually do that.
I mean,
That role that
yeah,
she plays
right.
or played. Only a woman could honestly do that. Having two men go through something like that, you have like conflict and pride and a lot of things go on.
Right.
But that nurturing
That
balance that she brought to the table, I feel like only a woman can do that. Like I was saying, I watched the documentary recently, and I didn't know that she went through as much things as she went through, and their family went through as much as their family went through before, after, and during Nelson Mandela's incarceration. When I viewed that, and I was informed of a series of events that occurred in her life, it made me respect her even more, and I really felt like that wasn't possible to do.
Where did you watch this? Where did you watch
It was on
the?
Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix. It's on
It was on
Netflix.
Netflix first, and then
Okay.
I think I only got like a short version of it, so I went back and I looked it up
Okay.
on YouTube. They have most of the documentaries.
Winnie Mandela.
There's one that's just called The Winnie Mandela. It was Winnie Mandela. So, I recommend it to everybody. Both Nelson Mandela's story from multiple perspectives and herself as well. But long story short, I definitely respect her strong black woman for what she is, and I feel like a lot of people can learn from her in many areas, in many ways. There was one piece that opened my eyes, the fact that they were telling her Nelson himself was kind of going against her views and her the way that she wanted to go about carrying out his message from the beginning. And once he got incarcerated, she deviated from, it seems like, what they agreed on. And that's something that was kind of new to me. Like, I guess I was supposed to know it, but I didn't know it until I watched it. And then when I saw it, I just went about doing it. It just showed more and more of her strength and how even her own husband that she was fighting for, she had a message that she wanted to portray her way. And she got the message up.
Wow. So if any of you have any knowledge, or if you're doing some research now, type in. We're on a Facebook Live post right now. Let us know sort of like some questions or some thoughts or some things that you want to kind of post, and we'll address it. We'll read your comment, and if we're able to comment, we will. If not, then I will politely say the conviction of ignorance is the first step to the acquisition of knowledge. For no one will possess knowledge on any subject if they're under the delusion that they already possess it. So I will ask you to tell more. So as Kola is pulling that up.
We have 3 comments.
Okay.
What is one thing each of you might start to learn the original seed? That was sent by our friend, Mr. Xavier.
Wow.
Himself.
You want to go first? You can answer that.
One thing I learned. So many things. I'll start with saying I'm a videographer. It's one of the many things I do. Being able to work on your own set, boundary has set for himself and conducted it in the way that he conducted it. I knew a lot went into it. I knew how important it was. Like, it's, without a set, you can't do anything. But I didn't actually have a structured way of going about it. I didn't, just open my eyes to be able to do it, going forward on a year to I feel like now I'm more knowledgeable on things that can go wrong with the main board. I understand my skill set and my abilities and things that I do lack on both ends, speaking and recording and the production side, doing it all together. I want to say that's probably the main thing that I learned a lot more, but that's the perspective I want to choose to answer this question.
So, Nicholas Xavier Harrison, let me say thank you so much for posting that question, and also thank you for coming on to the Brown Paper Bag series and talking to us about sort of like financial ideas and ways to save and ways to invest and like just thinking about the whole finance game. So we truly appreciate your participation and much love, bro. If I'm thinking about like the things that I learned, the number one thing that I would think about is really, to be honest with you, love, man. And love is defined differently depending upon who you ask. But you have love for me. A lot of people, my brother. I mean, I don't want to get into like names, but a lot of you have continued to encourage me. And I'll say that when you're walking into something that you don't really have like a big background in, and it's like, and then not only that, knowing me for who I am, it's like, oh my God, we're not getting enough views, and things like that. And Kola will try to calm me down and things like that, and others will as well. It's not easy. But I'll say that the number one thing that I would say that I've learned is to respect and appreciate the discomfort. Like, become familiar with those spaces, because that helps you sort of matriculate or like sort of like go through that journey. So then you know how to deal with it differently, and you become more acceptable, and you'll know how to deal with those challenges, obstacles, opportunities that arise. There have been a lot of things that have come up. When we did season 1, when we started out, shout out. I gotta give a shout out because they weren't on the promo video. Dr. King, Brian Williams, and Casey Bethel. Dr. King, Dr. Brian Williams, Mr. Casey Bethel. All three of you, we didn't have anything, and you all agreed to do a video with us and so forth. And so just starting from that process, and people saying, "Oh my God, Brandon, what were you wearing?" and things like that. Kola, everybody like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't comfortable speaking. Like anyone who knows me, even this right here, I'm not a public speaker at all. And that's one area where you push me forward to get on my comfort zone, which I always accept. Like I just love anything that challenges me with that. But that's one strong area where I could say I was not ready for it. It's public speaking on any level of it. Speaking to a visual, speaking to cameras, I was not ready for that. And I agree that being able to work in the grassroots mindset propelled me to be more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I know my skill set and where I lack, and speaking is one of them. And I've gotten, I don't know, you tell me, I think I've gotten.
Oh, you got it much better. Yeah, I have too. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, shout out to those three individuals, Dr. King, Dr. Brian Williams, and Mr. Casey Bethel for giving us a shot to even like interview them. But when we first started, we had no idea of how we were gonna do it. We just knew that we had a concept and we wanted to work with it. And the overall goal was to just bring information, bring knowledge, bring different things that could expose people to things that they may not have a way of sort of coming into contact with, So like give us some information. We'll talk about what you do and so forth. And so when we started that out, very nervous, and a lot of trepidation, and I have that now. But the one thing that I can say that I learned is that the people that ride with you, not to quote Tupac, but the people that ride with you, the people that like really are there in your corner will always find a way to encourage you, and that encouragement comes differently. Some is a little bit more hard. It's like a little push. Why don't you have this? Why don't you have this? And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that's more money, and that's more money. But it's like these ideas of kind of thinking about it this way, and then other people will encourage you and say, y'all are doing a great job. Keep pushing, no matter what. Keep pushing. So it's like that old cliche to where if you have a dream, as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other, you can accomplish it, and it's progress. So that's the one thing that was that a minute? was that way back? But that was to Xavier's question. That was to Xavier's question. So Xavier, bro, much love, man. Gamma Zeta, Fort Valley State, man. Alpha Phi Alpha, Elliot Mizell.
You can grab the second question, and I'm going to check on these cameras real quick. Since we're live, y'all can see the whole process.
Wait.
What goes in.
Who is this now? Where I go?
First one's right
I don't know. That says TL just watching. Oh, okay. Where is it? Second question.
First question. I had Xavier heard it.
Through your process, this is from Mike Evans. What up, Mike? What's up, man? Love you, bro. He says, I enjoyed first season, looking forward to season 2. And then Michael Evans says, through your process, what would either of you say has been the biggest hurdle as well as the most inspirational moment? Should I start? I guess I'll start. Man, what has been the biggest hurdle? To be honest with you, I would say money. Because unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't take
It don't take $1 million.
It doesn't take $1 million to make that happen.
I can't even lie. We did it on the
but financing it ourselves, and one thing that I've always reflected, one thing that I've always sort of resisted is that I don't want to come and say, hey, if y'all like this, I really want to have a product that people are enjoying and that just love. And so I will say this, but don't let that deter you. If you have a dream about anything, whether it be being a carpenter, plumber, professor, whatever it may be, videographer, don't let money stand in the way. It is an obstacle, and it sometimes can be a significant one. But if you have the intestinal fortitude, if you have, just the willpower to kind of say, you know what, regardless, I'm going to keep going, then you can accomplish it. So I would say, though, money is an obstacle. Getting the setup, because, we've had different things come up with trying to get different spaces, different buildings, venues. People charging $700 a month, and I'm like, well, I paid them $700. We can do it ourselves. It might not be the best setup, but we could just do it. We could do it how we run it. You know what I mean? So I definitely believe in that. That was back to Xavier and this idea of thinking about your future, thinking about the way to invest. That sort of changed my mind. So I would say that was the biggest obstacle for me. Also, no, let me say a caveat to that, Mike. Sorry, you asked one question. I'm giving you 2 answers, but a caveat to that obstacle is figuring out how to bring in the most views. That's a big thing, because you'll drop something. As in anything, you'll open a business, and the first day you might not get any customers, right? And after a couple months, you're like, what's going on? Are we doing something wrong? So I would say that putting yourself out there. When Kola first said that we were gonna drop it, man, I was sweating. I was nervous. I was like, don't do it yet, So it's about getting over that first hurdle, and but once you get through that, you'll still have a little anxiety. You'll still say, how can I get more? How can I get people to really buy into what we're trying to say? So getting through that, then comes the finance. It's like, okay, well, how can I finance this project, or how can I finance this dream? And so those are the 2 big ones for me. And then what has been the most inspirational moment? I would say having people, when you tell them your idea, and they don't know what you're doing, but they have confidence in you. And it's not really so much the product. I had somebody tell me and say, hey, Brandon, I'll give you a couple $1,000. And I was like, no, we're not ready. And they're like, I'm not investing in the product, I'm investing in you. And I didn't understand that. I was like, let's give a second to get our feet on the ground and so forth. But I would say those are the inspirational moments that that keep me going on is the idea that people, regardless of what you read, regardless of how you feel, the more you connect with people and establish relationships, you know, the idea that you'll have somebody else believe in something that you're saying. Even when you feel the most anxiety and the most like this isn't going to happen, to have somebody say, it can happen, brother. I would say that's the most inspirational. That's Mike Evans.
Can you read the question?
Yeah. Mike Evans. The first question. Oh no. The
like
first question. Through your process for Mike Evans, what would either of you say has been the biggest hurdle, as well as most inspirational?
Okay. I think I kind of mentioned what I believe the biggest hurdle would be earlier, but I'll come from a different perspective on this question. The biggest hurdle for me from season 1, or throughout this process, has been keeping balance for the both of us. Keeping balance for the both of us, me and Brandon. Anyone who knows me as an individual, they understand that I like to play the role as the jack of all trades or the middleman to everything. I believe in helping people, no matter what level they're on, no matter what they're trying to do. I believe in, just being able to supply. If I can't supply, being able to connect the person to what it is they need. And having something that's your own and having to rely on yourself and another individual, allowing them to do that for you, has been, I guess, a hurdle that I had to overcome. And it's been something that I've taken on, and I believe I've grown in the area of. And it's still a current hurdle, as I want to say maybe all hurdles are. But that's definitely my hurdle from season 1. Like Brandon mentioned, you said people believing in you. People believing in you and showing that they support you can even do maybe more than finances can. And for me, that's all it took for me to continue to push. I wasn't going to quit or anything. It's just like, just having your down moments. I didn't really have any down moments because I saw the support all around us. And because of that, I was like,
I had down moments.
I
saw 36 views. I was like, oh god.
And that's when I'm referring to the balance. That's what I'm referring to, like being able to balance not just myself, being able to balance Brandon, like getting your own partner to see what it is that you see, but started as his vision. That might be the biggest hurdle, like playing my role for you. I already see it, but you can't really just show someone what you see when you yourself haven't created that vision.
Good point.
So that's probably like a concrete form of what my hurdle was. The second part of the question was greatest inspiration.
Greatest inspiration.
My greatest inspiration has been being able to actually create this platform. Having a platform to allow others to join you to help others or speak to others and inform others is big. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of people initiate it, but not too many people create it and make it happen. And I believe us even getting this far is very inspiring to me. And we're only going to grow from here. So that vision, coming back to the vision, being able to see that the end goal is bigger than it is right now, that's very inspirational to me.
What was the third question?
Is the third question?
I thought you said it was two. It was two or three.
Let's check. See, we got a third question. I saw 2 questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was Michael and Xavier. But since we're here and at this point, we're gonna take some time.
How much time is it?
I can't tell.
Hey, so this guy told me in the very beginning, 10 minutes and stop. Yeah.
And he agreed. And this is that balance I'm talking about. Exactly. Like being able to, I don't know, this is my man.
That's all I
That's my man, Brandon. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like 2 questions is good. We had the word from the bag, and it's supposed to be a teaser, but y'all got a little bonus extra today. So we have so much more coming. So much more. This is not even the beginning of the season yet. We're about to start 2018. I think we're gonna launch it. We'll pop it off probably around January sometime. I don't want to put no exact dates on it because we can't predict life and how life.
It'll be January.
But
it'll be January. Positive.
The balance says It'll be sometime next year.
Positively January.
But he said
Positively,
January.
positively
So stay tuned.
January 2018.
Stay tuned. The more that you request it, the more you want it. You know, things
Right.
will change.
And also, you know, if you have ideas for things that you want us to put in the bag, we have a whole bunch of different topics in there. Sometimes they throw us off and like, you know, we gotta like adjust and try to figure out what we're gonna say. But it's good for us. But I will say, regardless of who you are, continue to challenge yourself. Continue to fight through the daily struggles that consume us. You know, because a lot of times constructions, institutions, you know, whether it be racism, whether it be gender oppression, sexuality, classism, ageism, you know, the list goes on and on. Continue to push through, continue to challenge yourself, all of you, to be better. If you're thinking a certain way, ask yourself why you do. Is it the way that you grew up with family? Is it something that you've read? Or is it like the overwhelming consumer aspect of media or whatever, those different interactions, whatever it may be? Continue to push yourself to think deeply and critique your ideas, because that's the only way that we're going to grow, you know, as a people.
100% agree. And this is something I preach all the time. Anybody who knows me know I preach this. To add to what Brandon said, once you ask yourself that question, and once you find out the answer, make sure you actually use that knowledge to do something about it. Don't just be aware for no reason. Become aware so you can make a change. And that's my addition to it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I sincerely say that. All right.
Much love and respect. Stay tuned.
Season 2. Kola Adetola.
My man Brandon.
Six, 6, 6, 6, 6,